So I want to see that proactivity coming in from the side of Liquid.
And the Neon, I think that's something that you highlighted earlier, Bea, saying you really like the Neon, you want to see Mini Boo on it, so...
I mean, maybe I'm blind, that's where I feel like no, just because I honestly think that Steel Race is incredibly good for this, but I can still see it work out. But maybe this is like the one map that I'd be like, if you don't want to run it, it's alright.
Yeah, I think the one thing that Team Liquid need to be cautious of here is Camo diving in with this Waylay agent into potential trap setups that Vitality are going to have when they get onto that defense. I think, yeah, something that I had mentioned already was kind of comfort here. Yampi didn't have a great performance on the Tejo the other day, so we need to see if that's going to kind of help him throughout today. I think as well, Chronicle Nats Viper head-to-head is kind of iconic, especially on Viper.
I think one thing that is super, super important for me for Vitality, awareness. You need to be aware that they might be aggressive. I do not want to see untraded deaths. I want to see them playing together and actually facing up to those duels.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's something that they had kind of lackluster on, I guess, yesterday.
Like so many kills were impossible to trade, so many risks that were not well measured.
It's getting back to, you know, the standard of what their fundamentals are, right? Not letting them slip, not going into this map too overconfident, knowing that you have one under your belt already. And I think as well, they probably expected this map to be played coming into today.
He's locked in.
He looks zoned out, if anything. Yeah, I don't think he looks locked in.
He's using the
a really cool angle from the stage. Just this is what the players see while they're sitting down there and playing, and this is it for Liquid. They have to win this if they want to continue their run into this low bracket and push it to this decider. But for Vitality, they're one map up in this best of 3. They're sitting comfortably so far, but the lower bracket for Liquid's dream to continue needs to start with a win on Bind with their casters Mitch on top.
Thank you very much. Yes, map 2 ready to rumble, but the question is, are Liquid? I mean, we saw some blips on the radar there, some moments that I think they will have been talking about in the intermission between these maps, Tom, but the bounce back, do you believe in it? Remember, this is Comfort. This is their map pick they're going on to.
I think their attack side of this map was incredible last time around, so I'm quite excited to see a little bit more of Mini Boo especially, but also we got back to the Nats we know and love. Like, he has had some up and downs. I think it was a down in the last map. He had a rough time. They beat his setup, but when he gets on that Viper, when he gets on Bind, this is where historically that's actually a very fun talking point, because him and Chronicle genuinely might be 2 of the best players on Bind in the world. And I think in the past, when they were on the same team, that was where I was most excited to watch them play. Putting them up against each other in a survival match, it doesn't really get much better than that.
Up against each other in a survival match, both on Viper.
Yep.
What more could you ask for? My favorite map as well, so really feels like a treat. We come into round number 1, the pistol round, and for Vitality, already a lot of space taken towards A. Now, Liquid have pushed down B, but it was Liquid who had those slow attacks, who allowed those rotates to come through. Vitality don't suffer from those issues, at least not normally. For now, though, Durka goes down as the big play towards Tallbox comes in. Camo will be shut out of the play, but Wayne still keeping it alive on site. Great work from Wayne. That's the man advantage. No need to throw it away.
Spike planted.
Util gone, and patience from Nat. It's a little bit labored, but he gets the job done. And now Profek left into a clutch scenario. First comes easy, but anything else should be impossible. They're holding that cross as long as Purple doesn't completely weird from well. Luckily, it's already too far gone. It will be the pistol round under Liquid's belt, and an important start to this defense.
Yeah, you expected that little bit more cover to be there on the way across, or a little bit more respect, I mean, sorry, from Purpo just sitting there, tucked in, but
down you go.
It wasn't a B.
Spike planted.
I think Nats also, like, a great read after he takes that first pick. He instantly guessed where Profek was. You could see him clearing the spawn, ready for it. And that's why they get on the spike so quickly. A few split-second decisions give Liquid a 1-0 start. And this is what we were missing, really, on the previous map, was they were too slow to get started. There were too many mistakes early on. We want to see the sharpened blade of Liquid on display here.
Yeah, I think also looking at Vitality on this map, obviously losing the only time they played it, which was yesterday to Fnatic, 13-8. I'm actually not that worried about that defeat for a couple of reasons. One, Vekaj was insane, and 2, I think that might be the best performance I've seen from Althea so far this tournament. Like, guy was just unstoppable. Like, there was nothing you could do. He was winning 1v3s in scenarios where, yeah, sure, players went to peek him, but they still died in the most ludicrous ways I've ever seen.
But the funny thing is, when we were going through that map, the conversation ended up sort of having to be about how Alpha was getting behind them constantly, how he was playing the Nats role.
Yeah, the flanks.
Now we've got Nats. So if
that is true.
It's almost a good thing that those mistakes have been highlighted, those gaps have been shown to Vitality, because I don't expect to see them today. But if they are there today, Nats will be the guy to take advantage of them based on history. For now, the round that should be guaranteed to Team Liquid. Very light investment from Vitality. Just the one weapon on Yumpy, and they're almost there. Okay, well, that was a bit ambitious, but it's only one. So long as they don't push him, because he's gonna judge. Why would you push him? So now Wayne's giving a weapon away. Chronicle's got an upgrade, a 1v3 now on offer, and I start to get a bit worried because he can get that spike and get out of here. 12 seconds to rotate would have to be so quick. They just need to chase him down, but they're a little late in even making that decision. 7, 6, he's not gonna make it. No, it's too late. That split second turning back for the TP is what's costing this.
Wanted to make sure he wasn't hunted down immediately. I can understand it, but yeah, just half a second too slow to getting the spike down. It's an extra orb for him at least. And he will be able to take the gun into the next round and basically, well, remove a gun. Because that's the thing, if he dies and they pick up the weapon, it's a lot less of a cost. It does mean that he now has a Bulldog instead of having a rifle. In fact, no, it doesn't. He's just chucked it away.
Just making sure it's not for them.
I don't even want this.
Is no one going to take it? I thought they'd take the little boost to the economy. You get an AWP online early, something like that if they needed it. Tax, yeah, maybe not, but that security being avoided. Liquid on the walk down, 3 players deep. Flash comes out, but so passive from Vitality. They were clearly expecting something like this. Look at the positions that they're holding. Waiting for that aggression has paid off, because that was a nice trap, but sprung a bit early by Liquid.
Yeah, there's not too many ways you can play a Neon Waylay passively. Like, you have to take space, and especially in a round that you're guaranteed not to have something like an operator. You need to pad some of those gaps. Chronicle already just, well, almost playing a role that has been deemed the Nats role. The lurk on the A site, the wall placed, potential to take space through it. Liquid aren't just sitting pretty. They've re-aggressed across the A side. Means they can have this triple stack up over on B. But of course, there is an opportunity, especially with the amount of utility going down, to maybe go back the other way.
Not a bad trade-off in utility towards B. Molly for Salvo. And the potential to get a spam kill, but this push-up on A is not being watched anymore. Chronicle's going back in the other direction. Unfake still has those birds, but it won't be the dog sent through for the information. And as he's sending that flash, Miniboo's timing comes in perfectly.
The stack hasn't moved.
Already a man down in that corner that was salvoed not that long ago. Has Camo, no surprise, tucked in, waiting, but now they're ready for him, and he's not getting out of there. Domination in those first few fights, and it continues for a 3v2. The plants needed, the time low. Miniboo, though, he can't get anything done here. No denial, leaves Purpo in a 1v3.
Yeah, I thought maybe that orbital strike might have been enough to take the round home, but it was because a couple of players were already past the threshold. That was enough for Durka to get those openers, Chronicle to then flood the backside and leave Purpo. Not a lot to play with. This was as pure as a bonus as you're going to get. A lot of weak weapons, so even an extra gun dropped here would be huge, but they're waiting for that drop down, and even though he gets a 1v1 fight, Profek does not miss.
Oh, he's on his feet. I don't know what he's saying, but I think that's enough. Look up from your monitor and see it leaving. A crazy play coming in from Vitality. It looked like they were maybe stepping into a trap with so many players still there. Good read in play for Team Liquid. The patience on that defense got them nothing in the end. Couple of picks, but Vitality claimed the round. And this is it, right? Liquid won the pistol, they won the follow-up, but this series momentum is in favor for Vitality. And for Liquid, I think it's important that they shut down any potential early streaks from this squad right off rip, or it's going to start to feel like deja vu and an inevitable 2-0.
Well, that's it. Last round, low buy. This is where Liquid do get those pieces back. They did, of course, have to use an ultimate in the last, and although it made the round close in essence, it didn't do the damage they would have liked. Now with Yumpy having a lot of potential for clearing out this B site. They're going to get aggressive. I don't mind this. The back site is a normal target for an Armageddon.
Oh, nice shot by Camo, and the stunned up unfake hindered in that corner. He will be dropped. Miniboo, again, the same play as the previous round. No friend with him this time, but he doesn't need it. A nice one to start. The stuns even land. Oh, I don't know about that. He got away. Well, Miniboo, I'll never question you again, my friend. 1 versus 5 for Durka. And as we said, you didn't want momentum, confidence early on. A streak for Vitality, well, there's no worries about that. 3-1 start for Liquid with an in-zone flawless in round 4. A statement beginning.
Yeah, and it's the same problem. It's the exact same problem you mentioned. Sure, okay, the early fights happen, there's going to be more gaps, but it's exactly what Alpha was able to do to them, getting behind and cutting them off before they can get into the site. Like, they didn't even get close to planting the spike in this round because their opponents were pressuring them. And that's something that Vitality can't allow to continue. And it may be early for a pause. Yeah, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. The fact that that has happened again, and it was probably something that in the very short turnaround time they did look at, it needs to be hammered down again.
Well, it's 2 rounds in a row, and the fact of for Miniboo making that wrap from Bathroom, and the idea early on from Vitality in some of the rounds has been to leave Chronicle to hold for that lurk. In fact, here he was doing that, but tries to take that space up through mid. Of course, yeah, Nats invented that. So the idea to go through Bathroom off no contact is going to be there.
Own spell against me.
And maybe the combination is something like Unfake clearing that space with the dog, the flash like we saw him attempt before, but still having Chronicle holding that Bathroom. Would they need presence there because it's being exploited? But then the other part of it is, Tom, I don't think Liquid are stupid enough to come into this next round and play the exact same. It's clear here that they've exploited holes in Vitality's gameplay. If you come into the next one expecting those holes to be there in the same way, you are only going to run into a very prepared attack side.
As well, if someone calls a pause on round 5, you know that it's for a reason, and the reason is probably the double back-to-back flank. I think that. Then again, though, Miniboo is still one of those guys who will want to try and put the pressure on. He has no fear! Just a straight push-up. Durka, I believe, I don't know if he sold it in the end, but he was the only guy who had a gun. He invested into the Outlaw. Now, of course, there's plenty of capable hands to pick it up, but that's got to be infuriating. And he's just... Okay. Is it just me, or was his crosshair aiming at his knees?
It kind of looked that way. A little bit of movement and accuracy used to his advantage, I suppose. That's a scary thing, man. Miniboo's feeling it, and we talked about his flank. He's getting up behind. He's getting those free kills because of position. Well, now he's taking heads-up fights, and it's making no damn difference. For Vitality, a pause called to try to put the pieces together, find the solution. And it ain't worked yet, at least. The credits are kept over for the next round. That's where the full buy can come through. They'll have ultis, yada, yada. But for now, at least, the dominance seems to continue. 3 players, no map control. And a last-ditch attempt towards B, but the rotate is going the other way. Purple is at least an elbow. So
he has a flash as well, so he could just get himself the info. And with how much time is left, you kind of expect him to, but he's just got to retake.
Yeah, it has to be retake here. I mean, if he takes that fight, I will have some choice words.
I love just seeing it from the other point of view of how quick Miniboo is in, but he's bit the bullet. It doesn't matter. As a distraction, it worked out. 4-1 for Liquid. Lead extended. And while considering there was a little bit investment in, not too much damage taken either.
Yeah, a very, very clean round, and I love that at the end. Again, Purple is left to play by himself on that side of the map. He had to play retake, and then he's very important for that retake, being able to put the flash through. Miniboo dives out, and they end up just trading him as he swings into the site. Very, very cleanly done. As Team Liquid hit 4, this is a different face to, I think, what we've seen in the majority of that previous map, where there were synergy issues from the get-go, but the preparation paying off. And look at this idea as well. They're feigning aggression towards A to then play through the Bathroom. Wayne's got himself one. Somehow they've spammed back, and Miniboo swings in. He's still going. The spike's being retrieved. He can't hold the line there, but the advantage is theirs nonetheless. Team Liquid 3 versus 2.
I feel like I'm watching Deathmatch or Spike Rush. Like it's just 2 teams running at each other, or mainly one team running at the other. They have managed to get the spike down. Now, they had some wonderful ultimates for the post-bomb, but all of those people are dead. And it means that Camo, if he can figure out where one of these players are, that convergence path would leave them trapped in an impossible scenario. Profek, though, from the heavens. This was his spot last time they played. He dealt damage versus Fnatic. And even putting a couple of bullets into the body of an opponent, they don't even know where Unfake is. And to be honest, why would you expect him to be here? Look at where that plant spot is. He's just hiding in the back lines, allowing Profek to basically win this round single-handedly. And Camo's desperately, he just wants to kill. He just wants to finish off Profek, and he may get his wish, but that's all she wrote.
Oh, there's still some fight left in them, evidently. You know, for Vitality at the moment, one of the conversations we had, and I guess because of how crazy and chaotic so many of these fights have been, we haven't got the opportunity to talk about it as much, but it is Yumpy. Yeah, I mean, he's currently top of the board, but we don't expect him to see, we don't expect to see that same performance from the previous map. Huh? Like, he was on the Yoru there, he had a lot more individual ability, I suppose, to set himself up for, to take those fights, and even the role that he's expected to play there. But now, his utility is so much more about controlling that map, which is something that's worrying if, you know, your game is falling apart from flanks and so on.
They're doing it again.
Same strat, yeah, from Liquid.
They've had the double push-up. They've had the early aggression. They've got the information, and they've got themselves orbital strike. Their opponents have so many ults to play with, but again, it has been finding places to actually use them.
I think they tried to bait them out there.
Yumpy's had them online for a while. It's an aggressive position, and finally they managed to punish Miniboo. They just comboed the ults, though. They managed to slow them down and then pick them off with the orbital strike. Wayne, it's labored. That was a chance to almost confirm the round. Instead, he's given them a way back in.
A big, old, dumb, big combination from Wayne and Camo. It might amount to nothing, but circa 21 HP. They spam right after the drone. Of course they do! But Profek, now with a real chance! In goes the Viper's Pit, but a molly on the other side. That's going to buy so much time. Profek decides to play up close, though. He's not backed all the way off. Nats has to clear everything. If he steps out of this pit, major problems start to pop up, but the patience, Profek expects it to be a fake to start. He stepped around it and in he goes, but Nats with the reposition catches him off. A double tap on the spike and a 5th round in Team Liquid's possession as a result. That should never have come that close, though.
No, like the initial combo from Liquid was wonderful. Like having that orbital strike, and then look, you see immediately, it's not even, they actually put them through almost exactly on time. The orbital strike goes just before, so they start panicking, and then they get hit by that convergence path, slowing them completely, not allowing them to move. And then, well, you leave it down to Nats at the end. Full faith.
Nice! Beautiful! In their face! Let's go!
Oh my goodness! Lohan's fired up in the booth. That's what we love to see. A 5-2 in the face of Vitality, and now they're put down to pistols again. You got a Sheriff, you got a Stinger, you got a Bandit. 2, in fact. There's still some potential to throw some jabs out, but that's pretty much what it comes to. Liquid should be on that 6-2 scoreline, and it is a complete reversal of the map we just saw.
Yeah. Looking a lot more comfortable. I think the double duelist as well have been sublime. Oh, Flash.
That's a little shallow.
Yeah, didn't quite catch, but it was Durka just with a SMG in hand. Not the fairest of fights, and for the rest of the team now, a walk up towards this A site. Now they're checking that angle in the smoke because there was a player sat in their Miniboo just the round before, so making sure to check their basis. Pressure put onto Wayne, but this time he's not missing a beat. It is an in-zone flawless for Liquid, as they at least have a level half, but let's be real, we expect a lot more.
Yeah, I think we moved past that confidence building now. We're onto the economy build for Team Liquid. A flawless round is going to give them so much to play off of in the future if Vitality do find those flash-in-the-pan rounds. From what we've seen so far, this attack side has got a lot of work still to be done for Vitality. In fact, they're going to try to patch up some of those gaps here and now. At 6-2, going into round 9, Vitality are out of pauses, and I think this really just underlines how poor this attack side has been for them. Maybe a weakness that everyone's going to be looking to, like if it's allowed through in the veto, something better change.
Well, yeah, they permaban split, so it looks like it is going to be allowed to in the veto if they make it to the match tomorrow. And well, if not, then Liquid will almost definitely let it go through. But it was the same case versus Fnatic, a 2-7 attack side. The defense was at least a bit closer, and I do think the defense had a lot less overall issues. Like, it was Althea flying in insta headshot people. Like, I can forgive that. That happens sometimes. Althea is very, very good. So, and I also think their defense, especially like the focus was on Yumpy. I know the desk talked about individual performance. I think his util on defense was fantastic. As a general irritation of, I'm not going to let them plant. They have to constantly deal with the salvos and constantly deal with the stuns. I think the idea was good. Their attack, though, got rinsed. And it's happening again. And I think for Pow and Scott, that's the moment where you have to go, okay, well, it doesn't matter how good our defense will end up being. If we lose this half 10-2, we're not winning the map. Like, do you think Nats isn't going to win a round on attack? I think he'll win one on his own.
Yeah.
And that's before Miniboo just runs in and shreds people, which he's been doing all game.
Running out of time for Vitality, and they know that. The timeouts used
change.
Will be aggression from Miniboo that catches Chronicle off on the jump peak. That not the way you want this round to go. A lot of the time you'll see those pauses straight into an eco round. A chance to learn, to gather information, to play the smallest advantages in your favor. But this is going into a big buy and a chance for Liquid to guarantee a lead at the half. And then the question is only by how much.
You've lost your Viper's Pit straight after a pause 10 seconds into the round.
Yep.
Like, if Powell hasn't just facepalmed, I'd be very surprised.
It is a good round, though, for Team Liquid as well, and the fact that they see that pause and say, okay, let's play default, let's stack up A in case the solution is there, and let's send Miniboo to try to punish them, get a little pick. Even as that spare rifle to fall back to, the economy sitting so pretty for Team Liquid right now that they can afford to take those kind of risks.
But that's
Purple's now in this TP, and they know about it. You know, luckily there's no salvo online, otherwise that door will be open very soon.
Seeker's used. 25 seconds left. Miniboo, the operator, was the spanner in the works this round, but he's still got that rifle to back up on, and he still has Nats as backup. And sometimes he doesn't need the backup himself. In fact, there you go. You can just be the distraction as Nats kills everyone. Another in-zone flawless. Liquid, they're back in the race.
What a difference, night and day to the previous map. Liquid, again, it comes down to comfort and the lack of comfort on the other side. I think we saw it from Liquid, and I'll be honest, how abysmal those attack sides were on Corrode. Their timings were horrendous. Some individual plays made no sense, the Camo Calamity in particular. And now we come into Bind, and it's like a completely different team down on that stage. The difference a map can make and the difference preparation. They have so many ideas here on the defensive side, executed to perfection. And Vitality, they don't know what to do against this.
No, they've had no response. It was, what, a 2v3 clutch with Profek winning. That was one of the rounds. And then the other was up against the bonus when their opponents had an incredibly weak buy. Like, this is really, this could be 9-0. Like, that's the way I'm trying to place him with how the rounds have gone. I'd be surprised if too many think differently. This is all going to be on Durka. Can he catch a player? No. And obviously with him diving in, there's nobody close behind to have even a chance at a trade. The initial plan of Durka go kill with Bucky has failed. What else have they got? Still got Viper's Pit.
Yeah, if they can get onto a site, that could certainly help out.
That's been difficult.
2 smokes for Profek, positions on for Team Liquid right now. There is a danger. I think Vitality are choosing the best spot to go to. And now it's no longer the best spot. Because here's Miniboo. He's rotated in, quick on his feet, ready to roll. 25 seconds, snakebite and wall. There goes the snakebite. Here comes Miniboo. And now we got the numbers to face off against, and Nats is taking down Chronicle through the smoke. So there goes the Viper's Pit idea, and pretty much the round with it.
Yeah, in fact, they kind of just need to die at this stage. It is going to be at least a kill or two. Yumpy's doing well. He's making this one costly, but he knows there's going to be someone nearby, and eventually costly is all they can muster. At least, you know what? It was back-to-back in-zone flawlesses. This one at least wasn't flawless, but that's about the only silver lining.
At least it's not like round 11 we're going into where they have enough money to fall back on for like 3 or 4 more rounds. Yeah. And there's 2 left. So at least they did damage. That's always good. It's unfortunate that it's taken this long, but I think, again, we go back to the previous map. The vibe at round 10 or so was, ooh, Liquid, they're a bit too slow to start here, but maybe they can get back on the horse, no pun intended, for the next map. And it seems like Vitality now take that mantle. Like, the comeback into this, it needs to start now. It needs to be clean, it needs to be dominant, and they're getting nothing. No, Liquid, those individual, oh my God! These were individual fights they were not winning in the last map. Hell, Nats had 5 kills for most of the map.
Wow, this is just getting disrespectful. You got your Viper pushing down B short just to kill everyone. You've had Chronicle dead, I think first, in most rounds. He's just getting wrecked, and every turn they take, another Liquid player is waiting. It's a completely different beast. The horse has evolved. A 9-2. I can't see any path back for Vitality in this map.
No, no, it really doesn't feel possible at this. Oh, Jesus, that is crazy. Again, for a guy who, he finished last map like 9-15, honestly got a couple easy kills there as well where people weren't looking his way. He had an awful map when it came to individual fights. 14-5 now. It's fair to say Nats looks a bit more comfortable here.
It's his map, man. It always
absolutely
has been,
is.
It always will. Chronicle has got an opening kill. He has still died within the first 10 seconds, but you know what? We take that. We take that. It's an upgrade. Nats has just run down. He's just running it down. He's finally dead. It's almost like he was testing the waters just for these last few rounds. How far can I go?
I've never seen a fight here.
Can I push? How is Miniboo alive?
It's a 2v1 fight in this. I don't even know his tunnel.
Die. There's no way he can get anything here. There's no way he can get away with this. He's fighting. No! How is Miniboo alive? He's turning back around. I don't understand how anyone can get away with this much disrespect.
Positions, bro. That looks so stupid. I've never seen this before. When someone's saving a weapon, sure, but not the actual round plan. Oh my goodness! Miniboo took the fight in their spawns, and somehow it's a 1v1. Yumpy even has ult online with a post plan. I don't know how this round is flipped like this, but it could be going into Vitality's favor. It could be Liquid fumbling, and 9-3. Yeah. Hell, I mean, it's more palatable than a 10-2, that's for sure.
No, he has the advantage. He's looking for the fight. He's got his ult. He's got salvage. He's got so much, but instead he takes the fight knowing a Red Bull clutch that I never saw coming with the beginning of a round that I never saw coming. It's 9-3.
Yeah, I'm not sure I quite understand what's happened in this. I certainly need a moment to think before we go into that next half, and I'm sure our players down there will as well. This fight, again, yeah, you mark your calendars for the day you saw it. This fighting out of the attacker spawn on bind into the attackers and looking unbelievable doing it. Hell, this game has certainly dropped our jaws, but you know, we got plenty of people here watching along in person. One very special guest though, Tom. I've heard our halftime interview is going to be with Boo.
Yes, Mitch. They were facing each other only 2 days ago, and Boo just joined me in order to support his, of course, his brother on the side of Team Liquid. So thank you so much for joining us and for being here. I think it means a lot to your brother, of course, first of all, Boo. And it must feel so weird, you know, to like just seeing him play after being, you know, so long together. So I want to know if, you know, since he like moved teams and you got to see him play for another team, you've noticed any differences, maybe strength, whether it's, you know, in the I don't know, confidence, gameplay and stuff in Liquid Miniboo, let's say?
I think Liquid Miniboo now is more confident and more self-sufficient. I think he takes the learnings from our team, and now he's like a new player, maybe even a second leader in the team. So yeah, I think like he grown a lot since moving teams.
Kind of a flower that would have blossomed a little bit. That's a little bit of poesy, of course. And you guys with Heretics always used to be kind of the leaders when it comes to new metas and stuff. And we know that this one is a bit different and it's a bit, you know, shaky sometimes. What do you think of the 2 duelists that Liquid have been putting up, and how has it been for you also in Heretics? Adapting to this.
Specifically this Neon compound bind, I think they cooked. They put Domi on his comfort.
Right.
And yesterday they didn't need to show their defense stuff, which now they're using on Vitality, which is working really well. So yeah, I think they cooked really well and they have like good understanding of the meta. Let your brother cook. We're gonna see if that brings him the victory on Bind. Thank you so much for joining Bo, and we wish both teams good luck before the attack on Bind. Bye bye.
Oh, thank you, Lou. Always good to hear from Boo. Watching his brother down there on the stage. Of course, used to play together not that long ago, but Mini Boo's gone his own way now. Had to walk his own path.
Well, yeah, it's a very similar circumstance to when they played them on Bind. It just Mini Boo was just insane. Like, you go back to their last map of Bind, and he was 22-7. It looks like he's going to eclipse that. And unless they close it out really quick, or he just disappears off the face of the earth. And I don't believe any of those things are going to happen.
Well, it is 9-3, and it seems like the question is how many can Vitality get before Liquid hit that 13? An inevitability teed up aggression from the defense. Durka up here for the first fight, but he's got 2 players behind him, 3 bodies on the floor. Oh my!
I didn't see anyone, Mitch. I know what I'm talking about. I think he was alone.
Yeah, he might have been.
The other 2 must have just fallen off the map, even though that's not possible here. They went in the TP and it bugged and it disintegrated.
Took him somewhere else.
Yeah, because I've not seen anyone in this side. Chronicle, he's not in the first fight. Maybe he could be in the last one. He's taken out Camo. Profek in the smoke will dance with death and binded. Not quite enough this time. It's Purpo to close the round. 10 for Liquid. We'll see you on Breeze.
You can see the relief over on Team Liquid side, and it was something that I think Billy said on the desk as well about like Vitality. They've got to be careful not to come into this and think, oh well, it's already done. We got the map under our belt. We dominated that. This is. I don't think they have. I think Liquid have come back with a vengeance, and right now it looks like they're in the same boat. They're not taking their foot off that pedal.
They took 2 pauses in 8 rounds. There's no way that they've taken anything lightly in this one. They've clearly tried to change things. It clearly didn't work. And well, now they have I would say an even more uphill battle than we saw in the last map, which, considering the score is very, very similar, it's felt even more dominant, dear Lord.
Okay, there we go. That was actually the most selfless play I've ever seen. He hindered himself, stunned himself up knowing that his teammate would be there to trade, yet damage is done. Now a weapon recovered for Chronicle, and
it's gotta be a better
we better be
one.
very careful about this post plant. Liquid guaranteed to get Spike on the floor, but they don't know where Chronicle is. And a snake in the grass like this can cost you rounds, cost you games. Although Nats,
I was going to say,
he's locked in on the right spot.
But he knows.
There we go, info as well.
A little bit of extra damage. Gets the isolated fight, but just as the last map, it is genuinely like they've swapped places.
It really is.
Nats is now waiting for his former teammate. This is building us beautifully towards the decider, a map of Breeze where both teams have looked their best. I think neither team wanting to pick it for that reason. No one wanted to give the other the same good pick they'll have. But it has been brutal to watch each team on the opponent's map choice, because Liquid have looked utterly insane after a really rough map 1.
Well,
I don't see any road back. Even though this is a weak purchase now, like, Vitality would genuinely have to just completely flip the script of this map.
Considering one of the 3 rounds for Vitality was a 1v3 from Yumpy.
Yeah.
When they were fighting deep into his own spawn, it almost feels like Liquid have given the rounds to Vitality that they've got. Hard fought in this even as the trade started out. Liquid drawing the first blood. The trade back, great flash. It's caught them, but the second not so much. Adjustments still leave things neck and neck. Purple, well, I thought he was going to get out with the spike instead, wrapping around, checking the angle just in time. And Nats helps out. The alley-oop and a slam dunk with Liquid. 2 versus 1. Again, Purple and Nats. Again against Chronicle. The same site. Will it be the same result?
He's jiggle peeking every angle. He's looking for Nats, and instead he'll be found by Purpo. Once again, it was a bonus round. Once again, it was a weaker buy after taking serious damage. But that didn't look like it made a difference for Liquid. The opener, in fact, comes off the back of a bandit, but I just want you to look at the timing of when Nats came around the corner. Just at the right second to save Purpo. He has been sublime in this map and only overshadowed by Miniboo.
12-3. The shoe most certainly on the other foot. The whole outfit is right now. Liquid looking like they could be favored going into that final map with this kind of performance. Although Nats is taking Durka down, they've still got to deal with Yumpy, get through that Viper Orb, and Kron gets a crazy spam, a double, perhaps even a collat, but no, the angle's not lined up. It was the box that got in the way. Still, that spray is going to do more than its fair share.
He got Nats and Miniboo. as it goes. That's as good as it gets right now. Although, I'm not going to lie, Wayne has also been just fragging away, like getting doubles here and there. And even, they said he got a Brimmy opener with a Bandit running at them last round. So it's definitely not a done deal. That might seal it, though. The thing is, they will get a post plant. And actually...
Wayne planting?
I hope Wayne's planting, because Purpo currently has
Purpo,
0
is Wayne
orbs.
Purpo?
So...
Give him the spike.
Yep, he's looking... No. Okay, they're just baiting out. They're baiting out. He's going to give it to him. No, he's not going to give it to him. Okay.
Actually, to be fair, 2v4, if you're playing post-plant on that ult, you're a fool. Better off to put it on Purpo. Wayne will probably die here in a 4v2, get it for next round, or
still nice to
get
have.
a pick. And, I mean, if he can use it to win the round without getting a pick, I would be flabbergasted. I think this gives them more orbs total with a 12-3 scoreline, more chance to play back. And most importantly, if Wayne can find a pick, they have that online. But if they sit on site and wait against 4, I can't see this working out.
Oh, the first, I think, I was going to say, that needed to be. There's the ultimate. Immediately looks to use it, but he's got a man behind him. That time is already taken place on himself, needs to turn. Oh! And he has turned. Now looks to try and isolate a 1v1. He's going to find it, leaves it down to just perfect, and the time is gone. He's done it, he's closed it. There was no way they should have won it like this, but the youngster Wayne with the Red Bull clutch.
It said he'd be making plays, Tom, making waves. He's washed them away. Vitality shut down on map number 2.